Yo, what is good, everyone? Welcome back to the channel. Today I'm going to be breaking down the NHL DFS slate for Wednesday, December 14th. We got ourselves just a 3-game slate here tonight, where I'm going to go through a couple of my favorite line stacks, some of my favorite individual plays, and some of my favorite value plays, and then we'll wrap up the video talking a little prize picks. With that being said, let's dive into my spreadsheet here. And we're going to kick things off here like we always do in the top left-hand corner with those highest implied game totals, where you can see two of these games are coming in with an implied total of 6.5 goals, and then this game between the Red Wings and Wild coming in at 6 goals even. And then take a look down here at the Vegas odds, where you can see the Wild, Senators, and Flames are all favored to win here tonight. With that being said, let's dive into a couple of line stacks that I like here for tonight, starting with that first line for the Minnesota Wild. We got Steele centering Kaprizov and Zuccarello. Now, Kaprizov and Zuccarello have been awesome at home this year together, having combined for 17 goals, 25 assists, 42 points in just 15 home games, essentially averaging 3 points per game at home just between themselves. Both those guys are going to play up on that number one power play too, which I'll be looking to stack for the Minnesota Wild, because this Red Wings penalty kill has struggled here as of late, just sitting at a 73.3% rate in their past 6 games. Now, if I stack up that number one power play for the Minnesota Wild here tonight, that would not include Sam Steele, because he plays down on that number 2 power play. But if I'm rolling out that first line, it is easy to justify Steele there at that price of $3,500, considering the minutes he's playing with Kaprizov and Zuccarello 5-on-5, and the time he's getting on that number 2 power play. And then another line stack I like here tonight is that second line for the Ottawa Senators. We got Pinto centering DeBrincat and Batherson. We've seen this line here start to click a little bit more with each and every game, building some real chemistry between these three. We've now seen them combine for 5 goals, 10 assists, 15 points in their last 5 games, essentially averaging 3 points per game, and have a great matchup to expand on that here tonight at home against the Montreal Canadiens. Now, you probably just saw the notes change there. I had initially put that Pinto might be up on that number 1 power play. As I look here this morning, based on their morning skate, Pinto is still down on that number 2 power play, but DeBrincat and Batherson are both on the number 1 power play. So we're not getting the full power play correlation, but we're still going to see these three play big minutes together, 5-on-5. Now, folks, before we dive into some of my favorite individual plays here, if you could like this video and subscribe to the channel, I would greatly appreciate that. I got hockey content coming out for you guys all year long. All right, now diving into some of these individual plays here, we're going to kick it off with the forwards, and I'm actually going to highlight 2 guys together here initially, Elias Pettersson and Andrei Kuzmenko of the Vancouver Canucks. These guys are playing on the second line together and both play up on the number 1 power play and have really been solid together all year long. Kuzmenko's got 25 points in 27 games. Petey here's got 34 points in 28 games. They're trending well here over their past 10 too. Pettersson's got 4 goals, 8 assists, 12 points in his past 10, averaging around 4 shots on net per game and close to 15.5 DraftKings points per game. Kuzmenko's got 6 goals, 6 assists himself over his past 10. He doesn't shoot the puck as much as I would like him to, but he's clearly capable of getting on the score sheet and has 15, 20 plus DraftKings point upside. So that's the exposure that I'm going for here on the Vancouver side of things with these two. Could even mix in a Quinn Hughes if you want to get exposure to that number 1 power play. And that's really the play here with Joel Eriksson of the Minnesota Wild, stacking him up on that number 1 power play. I think he's a fine one-off play too, but 8 of his 23 points this season have come on the power play, essentially a third of them. And again, that Detroit Red Wings penalty kill has not been very good here as of late, just sitting at a 73.3% rate in their past 6 games, and they are going to be missing Dylan Larkin tonight as well after getting injured last night in their game against the Carolina Hurricanes. So I like Joel Eriksson, but again, primarily stacking him on that number 1 power play for Minnesota. Now, assuming that Elias Lindholm is going to be out again tonight for the Calgary Flames, we'll see Michael Backlund play up on that first line and the number 1 power play. Really cheap play here at $4,300. We could use him as a one-off play, or again, stack up that number 1 power play for the Calgary Flames. They do got a good matchup here tonight at home against the Vancouver Canucks, who have not only allowed 3.86 goals per game this season, the 3rd most in the NHL, but this is a team that has really struggled on the penalty kill all year long, just hitting at a 68.2% rate, which is also the 3rd worst in the NHL. And then I got Mike Hoffman there of the Montreal Canadiens, who's been playing some really solid hockey here as of late. Now, he did just just returned from injury 2 games ago, but prior to that he was playing really solid, and he's been good in his first 2 games back as well. He scored a goal in his first game back with 3 shots on net, and then last game he had 6 shots on net, getting you that 3-point DraftKings bonus to where he's hit 12 and 13 DraftKings points in those 2 games. Pretty damn good at this price here of $4,000, and he's got 5 goals, 2 assists, 7 points in his past 8 games. So again, trending in the right direction. We're going to see him play on that second line here tonight, but play up on that number 1 power play, and should log around 16, 17 minutes. Now, moving over here to the defenseman, and the most expensive defenseman on this slate is actually Thomas Chabot at $6,100. So this position is very affordable here tonight, so I'm not afraid to spend above $4K for any one of these guys. Easy to put them in our lineup. And Thomas Chabot has been very good for the Senators as of late. 4 goals, 7 assists, 11 points in his past 10 games, averaging around 2.5 shots on net per game and 1.5 block shots, which is translated to 13.2 DraftKings points per game, but definitely someone who's got 20, 25 plus DraftKings point upside, especially in a matchup like this against the Montreal Canadiens, who have allowed 3.80 goals per game over their past 5, and really a team that struggled defensively all year long. We're going to see Chabot play big minutes here tonight. Should log around 25, 26 minutes, get time on that number 1 power play and the penalty kill as well. Now, being that it is just a 3-game slate here tonight, one strategy I might roll with is playing 2 defensemen who log big minutes together. For example, Rasmus Andersson and Noah Hanifin of the Calgary Flames, who are paired up together 5-on-5 and actually play together on the penalty kill as well. They unfortunately do not play on the same power play. Anderson plays up on the number 1 power play, Hanifin plays down on the number 2, but needless to say, both getting time on one of the top 2 power plays is good to note, and these guys are both certainly capable of getting on the score sheet, shooting the puck at a decent rate, and blocking shots as well. Both are capable of meeting 3, 4, even 5x value at their current prices. Now, stacking up defensemen is not a normal strategy, I believe, for most of us in NHL DFS. It usually just doesn't work out that way. But again, being that it's just a 3-game slate here tonight, I certainly don't mind it, especially with these 2 here. And then I got Ben Chiarot there of the Detroit Red Wings. We're largely looking for Chiarot to block a lot of shots here tonight, which he is certainly capable of doing, trying to get that 3-point DraftKings bonus by having him block 3 shots in a game. He's averaging around 3 block shots per game here over his past 10, and averaging close to 2 block shots per game on the season, so he's, again, certainly capable of getting us there. He's certainly capable of meeting 3x value at this current price as well. He's not someone who gets on the score sheet all that much, just 7 points in 28 games, but he does log big minutes, should play around 21, 22 plus minutes here tonight, gets time on that number 2 power play, and plays on the penalty kill too. And then I got a goaltender here on the spreadsheet today, but you guys know what I'm about to say. Being that it is just a 3-game slate, I truly believe we can make a case to roster any one of these goaltenders. It ultimately just comes down to what the rest of your lineup looks like. So if I want to play a bunch of Montreal Canadiens tonight, then no, I'm not going to put Cam Talbot in the same lineup. That really just doesn't make sense or correlate. But Cam Talbot is my favorite goaltender on this 3-game slate here. He's 5-2-0 in his last 7 starts, with a goals allowed average at 2.28 and a save percentage of .924. And he also has 5.2 goals save above expected this season. That ranks 15th out of 79 qualified goaltenders this season. But again, break down each one of these games here, build your lineup, and then figure out the goaltender situation, or vice versa. If you want to play a specific goaltender, just make sure the rest of your lineup isn't defeating your goaltender in that lineup. And as always, going to wrap up the spreadsheet here with 3 low-priced options or sub-4K forward plays. First guy I got there is Ilya Mikheyev, kind of rounding out that second line for the Vancouver Canucks. He also plays on the number 2 power play. He's got 9 goals, 7 assists, 16 points in 25 games this year, and is actually 5th on this Vancouver team in expected goals. Next, I got Andrew Kopp there of the Detroit Red Wings. With Dylan Larkin here out tonight, I suspect Kopp will play up on that first line and number 1 power play, and the Wild have struggled on the penalty kill at times this year and have also taken the 7th most minor penalties across the NHL. And then Josh Anderson there of the Montreal Canadiens, currently playing on that 3rd line in number 2 power play. He's got 3 goals here in his last 4 games and is actually 2nd on this team in expected goals, just behind Cole Caulfield. And then to wrap up this video here, want to talk a little prize picks with you guys. If you have not signed up for prize picks though and are interested in getting in on this action, I got a promo code that you should definitely take advantage of. When you're signing up, use my promo code GRIFF. GRIFF, and Prizepicks will give you all the way up to a $100 match deposit. And the nice thing about Prizepicks is they match that deposit right away. You don't have to earn it back as a bonus like some of these other DFS sites. Not here. If you put $100 in today, you'll see them match that in your account right off the bat. So you're essentially playing with free money or house money on your first set of picks. Again, all you need to do is use my promo code GRIFF, GRIFF, upon signing up. Now, you guys know on these smaller slates like this, the lines are usually pretty accurate on Prizepicks, so I'm going to find my favorite two, and as I always do, I'll let you know my two favorites in a comment below on this video. I'll be sure to pin that comment as well, and don't forget, I am posting those in my Discord channel too. If you guys want to join that, there's a link to do so in the description below. Alright everyone, that is going to wrap up this video here for today. As always, thank y'all for taking the time out of your day to watch the content here on this channel. If you could like this video and subscribe to the channel, I would greatly appreciate that. Let's have ourselves a great day here, folks. Let's win some money on this 3-game slate. In the meantime, I'm out of here.